Come on, let's go.
Hurry up.
I was grabbing a beer.
Welcome to PorchTlk, the podcast where some 20-somethings talk about their life, talk about things, and help you figure out your life along the way. I'm Eric.
Ezra Brockwell, elementary class of 06 valedictorian.
Morgan's not here. I I don't even know what Morgan just doesn't have Wi-Fi, or I couldn't tell you what exactly, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I think she's cat for the record.
So
She's
this
an
is kind
outlier.
of a if you've been following the cast for a while, this is kind of like a happy hour edition. It's just kind of be a freestyle, a little bit of confessions cast. I'm gonna butcher this first confession because I'm just gonna get right into it. This lady works as a therapist, and she had a client come in who was basically telling her that um, she's been seeing this man this whole time, and like it's been eating her alive. Um, and she's like, "This is just killing me." Like she's been sleeping with this married man. Cool, whatever. Later that week, her husband comes to the therapist husband, and says like, "Hey, I've been seeing another woman. Like, I'm gonna end our things." Turns out that her patient has actually been hooking up with her husband, but she can't tell anybody because of the confidentiality clauses between both of them. So she went to Reddit to like basically share her story about that. Just a crazy situation.
Now that is kind of wild.
So there's that. Different one. My grandmother phoned me last night, and I was describing my new girl to her and mentioned her name. My grandmother worked out we're related, but I don't want to tell my girl. Is it weird if I keep sleeping with her?
I guess, how much do you trust grandma's math slash biology skills? And then how related are you? Because Grams was just able to like piece this together, like this your cousin's daughter on your mom's side. Like y'all might be like closely related, so you probably have to stop. Um, any related, you definitely have to stop. But I would just be interested in hearing how related y'all are.
I mean, if you're like, because like, all right, if we're going by relations, right? If she went by the name, it's probably like a second or third cousin, because you know your first cousins, like for the most
Yeah,
part. I don't think that'd be anything crazy. So like second, third cousin, that's probably where you're at. I think it's weird regardless. Like if it's family, it's
definitely weird.
family. Like family matters. We can't be doing all that.
Yeah, nah. Like the fact that you had to ask if you should still keep sleeping with her is probably a problem. Like you probably need to be on a watch list of some sort.
I was gonna say if you were married and then you found out like your significant other, you were actually related to some. I guess you would find out at the wedding because people would be like, "Wait, aren't you cousin?" Like blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, you would
Ooh,
definitely find out at the wedding.
damn, the issue is
Damn,
like
that'll get odd.
that would, but like there's a lot of money in weddings. We've been talking about it. Like you might have to
Can't
just
call it off.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta follow through. You might not follow the paperwork. I don't know. Oh God, this one. I think my boyfriend is gay because his farts are sounding mad loose. Any man with a loose butthole got to be gay or on the down low. Am I tripping? This was a HBCU one for sure.
That's gotta be. Mad loose. Only she knows how loose it sounds. And I mean, I understand where she's coming from. She's not wrong with that concept. The problem is she's going off of sound alone. If she was like saying they was into some butt play and like she slid a fist in there, no problem, I'd be like, buddy on the DL. But just all of the sounds that it's making, like maybe not.
God, yeah, just the sounds is crazy, but a fist up the ass would be also insane.
You know, he's gay for sure. If that's the case. Like, oh, it's sounding loose, mad loose. Good lord.
It's interesting when I see these HBCU confessions and there's a lot of like fraternity guys who are on the DL. I'm like, how rampant is this? I feel like fraternities don't fuck with like gay people, for being honest, at HBCUs.
I don't know. I feel like I know. I'm not gonna put a name to him, but I know like the one that's like the gay frat for real.
Oh,
Um, and then I feel like HBCU wise, you probably not. In my perspective, you probably not running too much gay shit. Once you get onto them white joints, you definitely run into some gay niggas.
see the HBCU confessions say otherwise because a lot of that stuff be like this brother's on the DL here, he's doing it with his line
But
brother.
you
It
know
gets kind of
what,
crazy.
man? The problem, not the problem. Actually, we'll call it a problem. Pride Month is over, motherfucker.
July
Nah,
1st, it's all
yes,
gone.
sir. But nah, the problem is going to be, I think gay in the black community is rampanter nowadays, just with
Mm,
like how progressive the world has become. So at a place like an HBCU, which is like mecca for young black men, like finding themselves, that's probably actually where you're gonna find like the highest per capita rate of gay blacks. So there's a chance a couple of them make it on those lines and into the frat.
yeah, yeah, it's either HBCUs or Atlanta, the
Oh
highest per
yeah, they're
capita.
definitely out there. Yeah, like nothing's beating Atlanta.
All right. I kicked my husband out because a friend had seen him kissing another woman, right? I didn't give him the option to explain. We eventually divorced. Months after, that friend took me out to dinner. They pointed over to a guy and said, "Can you believe he's out with her?" It wasn't him.
Damn. And was it the same friend?
Yeah.
Either the friend was plotting,
Mm,
fighting and plotting. Shout out Floribama. So either the friend was plotting, or like he really made an honest mistake and you overreacted. But I actually just listened to a Reddit story about this earlier today when I was doing the dishes, and it was a similar type situation, and they were kind of coming down to the point of like, if you're willing to throw away what you have off of hearsay, you're willing to take the word of somebody else over your significant other, you probably have deep rooted trust issues within that relationship, and it's probably not going to work long term anyway. Because like you really you threw whatever you had away off of the word of a friend who wasn't certain, who had no proof, who was dead wrong, as we just found out.
yep. Yeah, I think you
Yeah, that's
need
tough.
picks. Like I mean, I don't know, like if someone was like, "Damn, we saw Mariah out like dancing, kiss another guy," like you would definitely be pissed, but like
Damn.
would you just
I
end it
need
off a word?
nah.
Would you need something else? Like what's the standard?
Yeah, and I think I would rather just be told the truth for real. You can tell me the truth, and we can see what we can do about that. But like with no picks, no, I would need it to be like 5, 10 of you. It would have to be your word against their word, and then it's like, at some point they not making this shit up. But one person, who is this friend to you? That's what I need to know. Like
It's got
this
to
is
be a
shorty who,
best friend at that point or something.
yeah, this person already don't like your man. She
You're
hated him.
not taking the word off of an associate.
How you get that wrong?
I think in today's day and age, like unless this was a while ago, like how do we not have pictures? Take a picture. Take your phone
Yeah,
out. Give me some confirmation so I know what's going on.
yeah. Nah, I would definitely would need a picture.
Yeah. Imagine you're just sitting there, you went through this whole divorce, you lost like your best friend, and then you're like, I can't believe he's out with her. And then you just look and you're like, that's not my man. Like, what?
Also, like, does she know what your man looked like? Because if from across the room she thought it was him, and like you look over and you immediately know it's not, like, yeah, I'm worried.
How, like, I guess she was just, with the friend was real confident because I was like, if you saw someone and you thought it was someone's ex, like, or someone's significant other, would you just be like, I got to go tell them? Or would you need like some confirmation or something? Like, I think you got to confirm that in some capacity.
I'll probably need some sort of confirmation, but I would have to be like 100% certain, without a doubt, that like that is them. I probably had to have talked to him before I left. Like I probably got to go up. dap you up, have a conversation with you, something before I leave.
Yeah. Damn. Oh, the classic. Like, oh,
Because
dude, I didn't
then
even
when
see
it's
you
like, yo,
here.
yeah, because then when it's like you saw him, the next question is gonna be like, what did he say? And you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't talk to him. No, like I'm gonna come to you. Yeah, I seen him out there. I spoke to him. Because the question gonna be, are you sure it was him? Yeah, I spoke to this nigga. I spoke to her. Like, come on.
Yeah, because it's like if you see someone that you think is in a relationship and they're cheating, if you go and confirm that, then like you're just doing yourself a disservice because or you're doing yourself a positive because if you don't, and then it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if that was done for sure. Like, what's the point? Confirm it and like squash it.
Yeah, yeah. Do not come to me with I think that was him. Oh, you're super toast. Get out of my face.
All right, I got one more confession. This is from r/marriage. Wife won't let me see my dying ex. I went no contact with my ex after we got married, which is fine. I was recently contacted by my ex's sister because my ex has cancer that's terminal. She's in hospice. Her sister explained to me that one of my ex's wishes was to talk to me face to face for something important. They both insisted that it had to be done in person. She wouldn't explain what it was because she didn't even know. I told my wife about this and she told me, absolutely not. I cannot visit her. I understand her feelings about this, but this person is quite literally dying. We have come to a decision and I don't know what the best things to do. I'm asking here. I want to know how other people feel about it.
I guess I've got multitude of questions. You want no contact with this person, so like, what was the whole reason for that?
Probably the
I'm
marriage because it
assuming
happened after marriage. So maybe you're just like, I don't need to talk to any exes after I got married. Like, there's
I'm not
what
gonna
is that
lie to
doing?
you. If I already ain't talking to you, we no contact. Dying is dying. Death is terrible. But like, shorty, I don't give a fuck. You gonna die. You gonna die with or without. You gonna die with or without me. I'm risking a good thing to talk to a shorty who might be dead tomorrow. Like, think about that. You're really putting your marriage on the rocks, fighting every night for something that's gonna be dead the next day. Like, get a fucking grip. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not going for it. Um,
But if they're
and
dead
then
the
like
next day,
once
does
you,
it even matter? Like,
that's
if they
even
go and
worse.
talk?
Because now you caused all this stress, all these arguments with your significant other, went above her head against her wishes. Now you probably dealing with some. Do you even love me? You still love her? Why did you? It's just not worth it. Like, let the shorty die. She's gonna die anyway. Whether you come, it's terminally ill. Whether you come see her or not, she's going to die. Like, I'm not tripping.
But she's got something important to tell you face to face.
Unless she tell me she got a rack for me, a meal for me, like she's dead. Like, what could she have to tell me? I don't even talk to you. It's probably some like weak apology.
You don't want some good karma coming your way?
What karma comes with talking to a shorty who's about to die?
Who knows? Maybe it's just good vibes. You have a good conversation, you get good vibes. Next, then
She might be
you
coax.
get a good job and you get a good millie. There you go.
She might be coaxing you into a fight for real. Now you in hospital fighting. What a diable bitch.
I don't know how many people on hospice are like, I gotta go pick a fight with my ex. You know what? There might be some petty motherfuckers out there. They're like, I'm dying. I gotta ruin my
Yeah,
ex's day one more time.
yeah. He don't got no choice but to hear me out.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think I would tell someone they can't. Like if someone's ex is like, oh, I want to talk to you one last time. Like, all right, cool, whatever. That's not gonna change anything. They're like you said, they're dying. They're not gonna steal your girl.
Yeah, I'm probably not. I wouldn't trip about it if it was my shorty needing to talk to a dying ex, because like I'm gonna beat the dead nigga every time. Like, come on, I'm winning. I'm still alive, dead ass nigga.
But if she put her
But it's not
foot
worth.
down and told you that you couldn't go see an ex, you would listen to her,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's probably not. To me, it's not worth arguing about because I don't
Nah,
got no exes dying or not dying that would be worth arguing about going to see on their deathbed.
nah, for sure. Because once Mariah puts her foot down in that household, that's the end of it there.
I almost wish that was the case.
Should listen, Ez, don't look at your dead ex anymore. Don't even worry about it. Just get those dishes
Nah,
nice and cleaned up for me.
I would want to know like what info did this dead shorty bring? Like what was so dire? Does he ever follow up on that story and tell like what dead info came of this dead shorty?
I didn't see it. It was like a screenshot from Reddit. I wonder if I could
Mm,
find that. I feel like those things get deleted, don't they?
no, they like always do.
Ooh. So it was deleted. I'm firmly on the wife's side. Okay. You don't have sufficient information. That it has to be in person sounds like BS. Damn, a lot of people on Reddit are negative vibes. They're like, we're not
Yeah,
dealing with this shit.
yeah, nah. Just it seems strange. Is she even dying? He might run away with her.
We had to talk again. We couldn't come to a mutual agreement. I talked to my ex, and she said she insisted that we talk in person. My wife and I just couldn't come to an agreement about this. I told her because she asked me that I would be okay with her doing this with her ex, blah, blah, blah. In any case, I'll be visiting my ex next week. While I'm disappointed that my wife and I couldn't come to agreement, I'll also be doing what I think is right. Woo!
Yeah, so like, okay,
He put his foot down. He said, I'm going to go see my ex.
hey,
I think we had to talk real quick about this. I didn't watch the debate. You said you didn't watch it either. I saw some clips. I was getting a rundown. I watched a show where they did like a post debate thing. I mean, they said what we all kind of figured. This is a throwback to Porch Talk election cast back when that was going on. What a great time
that
that
was
was.
big.
Love the election cast. Oh, Trump. Ooh, Trump and Hillary back in the day.
That was a
Great
good time.
TV. Um, it kind of came down to what we all thought it was going to be, right? Where Joe Biden's just old, and I don't know why people thought that he would not be old and not be slow and not senile. Like, yes, he's fucking 80 what years old. Like, there's no surprise. Trump looked good, and I think what they said is like the fact that they were cutting off the mics where you just couldn't speak really benefited him because it just made Joe Biden look very old, and like he just didn't know. Joe Biden's 81. If he gets elected again, he will end his term at 85. He's not going to get smarter or like more together. It's just
Yeah,
gonna go.
he's not getting more coherent.
Do you think that they will replace him and convince him to drop out? Because from what they say about Joe Biden is like a stubborn man who always wanted to be president, and it's like very hard for him to like admit that he doesn't have the juice anymore.
I don't think they'll be able to convince him to drop out. He needs to, for the better good of the world. He needs to, but Trump also needs to drop out. The problem, when the clips I seen, clearly, I never want to push any Trumpaganda. If it's between not voting wise, but if it's just who looked better out the two, Trump is smoking him, and it's
Yeah,
not close. And it's like, buddy, like that's why I think it's going to be a problem long term because like we needed somebody strong to go up against Trump. Biden is just not there. He looks weak up there. He doesn't seem 100% coherent. Like we as Democrats failed for putting him up there against Trump. It's insane. And
yeah.
I think it's probably too late now to scramble and like put someone on the ballot. Who would you use? Kamala?
Everybody hates her.
Y'all gotta say we're in the same boat. Like they're at this point, what is it, 4 months out? There's nothing we can do. And that shows everything about the Democratic Party as a whole. They should have known this was coming. They had 4 years to prepare, and this is the best option we had. I get you want to give the incumbent a chance. When the incumbent was already on his last leg, I think they should have done something to prepare for a better opponent, a better nominee.
Yeah, there was like some whispers at one point. Like I think it was like Gavin Newsom and like Gretchen Whitmer. They were thinking about like doing it, but I think they've been posing for like 2028 because they knew Biden wasn't going to drop, and then Democrats didn't even have like an open primary. They were pretty much just like, "Hey, Joe Biden's the guy." So yeah, they kind of blame themselves, and I don't know. There's talk of like they just keep Joe Biden in like a really tight circle, so a lot of people just didn't know this, and I'm like, but we see all these clips of him like out in public where he just looks
Yeah.
lost and confused. Like he's 80 years old, 81.
I was about to say, and I would like to make it known, like, there's no shame. He's 81. Like,
Yeah.
81-year-olds are not supposed to be the most coherent people in the world. If you think about, like, your parents or your grandparents, if your parents are 81 or your grandparents, by the time they're in their 80s, I can't speak for everybody, but, like, by the time they get to their, like, mid-70s, 80s, like, things start to fade. They start to forget things. They start to become less coherent. The fact that that's what we want running our country is insane.
Yeah. And it's not even like you got to think about this too. It's not even just this year, it's for 4 more years.
Yeah,
So 80
up
you want
through
85 more
85.
Joe Biden doing shit? Come on, man.
That's insane.
I mean, Trump's 78, so it's not like he's
Bro,
also old as fuck too.
both of them, like, what is the age to be president? 35?
I think it's 40.
Is it 40? I don't know why I thought that shit was 35.
Let's see. No, you're right, 35.
All right, good. I'm 6 years out. Yeah, like 35 age to be president. If we being honest, what's the retirement age? 65?
Yeah.
The earliest you can retire is 55. I'm saying we make the gap like 58, 60. And here's why. Once we get past that, they're like, oh, they got all these years of experience in politics, blah, blah, blah. You're probably stuck in your ways. You probably got bad policies in my eyes, like post
Hmm.
65 anyway. And then we don't want it to turn into what it is right now. And then, like, people, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's like the liberal aspect of America, the no prejudice aspect of America. People go out of their way to not feel ageist. You can't not hire people because of their jobs. So they're like, why can't they run for president at this age? They don't want to take license from people. I'm telling you right now, if it's one prejudice, I'm okay with bringing back. I know this opens Pandora's box. Bring back fucking ageism. Like, we got niggas who are too old to be doing shit. Bring back ageism. I'm sorry.
This is gonna go crazy in your election thing. They're gonna be cutting this podcast up. Do you want Ezra Lawrence to be your next
Yo,
president?
like,
Bring back
it's
ageism.
it's crazy. Like, why? What the fuck? We as a country, niggas tapped in to watch a 78-year-old and an 81-year-old argue for maybe the most prestigious job in the world. Like, both of their applications should have been thrown the fuck out.
Bro, you got people like Nancy Pelosi who's like, Joe Biden's good. She's 84. Of course she's gonna say. You have all these old people in like the higher position in the Democratic Party. Like, yeah, no, he's fine. What are we talking about, dude? We don't need to lie about
It's
this.
insane. It's the sickest shit I've ever seen.
Bro, Obama's 62 and he's been out for how long? Since 2017.
And that's what I think it should be. That was like, you still look strong. You were healthy. Fucking, you were at your right mind. Make president election 35 to 60. And 60 is pushing it. I wanted to say 55 for real. You don't think we have enough candidates in America between 35 and 55? Why are we waiting until the tail end of their careers to be like, oh, they might make a good president? Nigga is 80. Nigga was 74. What do you mean? He was 76. What do you mean he might make a good president now?
God, yeah, they should. We need to get back to having younger presidents, or at least candidates. Get some young candidates in there. And the fact that like a young candidate is probably like 55 or 60 right now.
Yeah.
Jesus. God. Man, bring back the election cast. Oh, what a good time that was. Before we get into our next topic, we wanted to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this week's episode, Zencastr. When we first started recording PorchTlk, we were using whatever rinky-dink setup we could, but we realized we needed to step our game up to a legit setup, and that's where Zencastr came in. It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log into your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guest. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Trust me, I know. If you have thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and distribute it to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code PorchTalk and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experience we do for all our podcasting content needs. It's time to share your story, and honestly, they have a free plan too if you need it. It's just as good. Shout out to Zencastr, and let's get back to the episode. Do you want to do real ones only? Wrap this thing up early, because I mean,
Yeah,
it's
what we
early
got?
for the listeners. It's late for us.
Late for us. What we got on that?
Um, oh, what the fuck? If you didn't say anything on Juneteenth, I pray you're just as silent on July 4th.
I've been monitoring. There was like 3 or 4 people who said anything on Juneteenth. I didn't see a lot of people posting about Juneteenth. I told you during COVID, it was cool. It was trendy. BLM. That you had to say something for Juneteenth. Businesses ain't really honoring that. Nothing's being said. My job said not a single thing about Juneteenth. They've been talking about July 4th for like 2 straight weeks. On June 17th, they were talking about preparation for July 4th. And I was like, okay, I see you bitch ass niggas. So I just want your silence to be just as loud on Thursday if y'all did not have anything to say for Juneteenth.
Gotcha. I
I
think
don't
my
want to
job
see
said
no
a lot about
fireworks.
Juneteenth, but we got we got a lot of diversity networks, so a lot of diversity networks are also posting about stuff.
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
And also, like, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of stuff lost steam when they were like, "Yeah, we're just not going to make this a holiday anymore."
No, truly.
You've become a big fan of honorary degrees being granted to people.
Fuck an honorary degree. But if I ever get one, I'm going so crazy. I only knew like famous people to get honorary degree, like famous celebrity athlete type shit. But I
Yeah.
seen somebody post on like they TikTok the other day that they got an honorary degree from like the college in the town or city or whatever that they like are actively involved in. Like they do a lot of volunteer work and they've been like on some board for like 6 or 7 years. And they gave them
What?
an honorary masters or some shit. And I was like, hey, yo, like, I'm gonna start volunteering. If they just pass it on degrees.
So you're not doing volunteering to actually do good. You just your end goal is just to get the degree, and then you're like, all right, I'm out here now.
If I can luck my way out into an honorary PhD, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just saying I've got a PhD. I'm calling myself doctor. What are the rules for that, by the way? If you get an honorary, do you like get to call yourself doctor or like it don't actually count? I
I
need to
mean, I
know.
don't see why not, because I would definitely do the same thing. Like, if
Yeah,
you
you're
give me a doctorate,
toast.
I'm a doctor now.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how much they like really matter, because I feel like a lot of times when they have speakers like for like graduations, they're like, oh, we're also presenting this speaker with an honorary degree now. And it's like, okay, cool.
yeah. No, they do be rolling out like mad. If you get to speak at a college or a keynote speaker for an event, especially at a university, you definitely get an honorary degree.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to just start sending my shit out to like small colleges to come speak and make it seem like I'm bigger than what I am.
Hey, fake
Maybe
it till you
they'll like
make it.
fall for it. There's got to be a small school out there that'll fall for it.
Just go back to Mansfield.
No, they definitely owe me something. They need to give me a PhD.
My last question for you. So, what are your plans on July 4th? Are you going to do anything? Or are you not
Not a thing.
celebrating?
I'm vibing. I am not celebrating that day.
You're not going to be grilling? Do a little smoke?
I might grill, but that's just
Hmm.
because that's my off day, so I might grill something. But that's about it.
Did you take off Friday too, or no?
Nah, they wouldn't let me since I just started.
That's crazy.
Yeah, lame.
All right. Appreciate you guys listening to the little bite size. Let's do a little music and TV recommendation.
Music. I'm not really listening to any music, so I just say that Mark narrations and can't go wrong. TV. Finally caught up with House of Dragons first 2 episodes. No spoilers, but that second episode is a fucking movie. It was an hour and like 24 minutes. I
Jesus
don't really know how they're deciding which episode is like 51 and which episode is long as fuck. Because that is just way too long. And we got to shit without commercials. So if you got HBO with commercials, that's probably like an hour and 40 minutes you gotta sit through.
Jesus. Yeah. We watched the first episode, but we had to watch the second and the third. There was no way we're gonna watch it this weekend. So we'll do it
Yeah.
probably like when whatever July 4th is, or the weekend of some point.
But yeah, that's definitely time to catch up.
Childish Gambino drops a new song tomorrow, Lithonia, so that's going to be my recommendation, assuming it's going to be good. TV wise, oh shit, what are we about to start watching? We got so many shows that we need to watch. I had to write it down. Like we're gonna watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel season 5, so that'll be it. If not, it's gonna be The Bear season 2 and 3.
I'm trying to get back into the Bear. I tried it, I just couldn't. I only
Did you
got
watch
like
the
two
first
episodes
season?
in. I watched 2 episodes and I just wasn't like caught. But people keep telling me it's good.
It's good. It's definitely a stressful show though. So just if you can't handle being in the kitchen, some people aren't cut out for it.
I'm gonna have to check it out because like I'm built for real.
No, you're definitely a big time kitchen guy. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening to this little kind of happy hour confessions cast, whatever. It was like kind of what a happy hour cast, a confessions cast, and an elections cast, all the trifecta.
No, it
Um,
was kind of
yeah,
goat
hopefully
vibes.
Morgan will be back next week. She can figure her shit out.
We
Yeah,
truly pray.
yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Porch Talk, No Alias, for now podcast. We're on Spotify. Watch on Spotify. Watch on YouTube. Subscribe over there. Comments, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us reviews. It helps the podcast grow. We appreciate you listening back next week. Peace.